Hello, welcome to Random Witterings podcast with Michelle.
And Charlie, and we're going to talk about celebrating our neurodivergence. And finally, for Neurodiversity Celebration Week, episode 5, we're talking stimming and coping strategies. We're back in the room, sort of. So, coping mechanisms. Is that what we were going to talk about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just thought it'd be funny to just give it a bit of character and just talk about
Yeah.
some of our stims.
Yeah. Stimming. Stimming for me is anything my hands can be doing. Rather dreadfully, I smoked for about 15 years because my hands needed to be constantly occupied. So now people will regularly find me on my phone because I'm not being rude. It's just keeping my fingers busy. And when my fingers are busy, I can focus on what I'm doing and I'm thinking of you. So, yes, I do
Yeah,
this all the time. I love these stretchy hairbands
yeah,
and I will play with my fingers. And that's what I do. And all the time, have to have
yeah, same
something.
as.
Otherwise, I start talking and then I'm likely to, small children are in danger because my hands are going everywhere. I send them flying, pictures fall off walls, I drop ornaments.
Yeah. I love those hairbands as well. They're just brilliant. If I've got one to hand, I'm always, yeah. I've got two pieces of felt that I sewed together, and I put a maze pattern in it, and then a
Mhm.
couple of marbles, and you push the marbles around the maze, and it is just so good. It is so good. And the thing about being online meetings is you can just be fiddling away. You don't
Yeah.
have to look at it.
Nobody really knows. If I do it,
Yeah,
my
just you
stimming
can
below
just
the desk, no one can really tell.
my notebook.
Yeah.
I will like crease up the corners, and I've always done that. All of my reading books, I crease up the corners until they rip off.
Yeah.
Which really upsets my son because he hates the sound of paper being ripped.
I doodle so
Doodles.
much on mine that I can't actually read what was written underneath it. So I am constantly, if I've not got something to play with, every single notebook I've got has got doodles in the
Doodles.
corner. Yeah,
So cool.
doodles in
And
the corner.
that's a bit of a more socially acceptable
Yeah.
stim, as it were. People feel that's normal.
Mm.
A lot of mine are visual, so all around my desk I have sparkly things. So I love anything that sparkles. I'm like a magpie. So I have all of that, and I have lights as well. Christmas fairy
Hmm.
lights aren't just for Christmas. I have lights all of the time. This one's color changing. It's not set up for me yet. But once I've finished decorating this new house, yes, there will be fairy lights all year round.
I love fairy lights. We've got fairy lights everywhere as well. They're really soft. Lighting is something that's really important to me. I've realised. Um, we've got so many lamps in the house, and I'm constantly like, no, at this time of day, this combination of
Yeah,
lamps.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. My my ex used to get annoyed because he'd spend 10 minutes blowing out candles and turning off lights at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So now I've got a tapo plugs, and I can set them on my phone to just turn off when I go to bed.
Yep, we've
So I
used
don't
that.
even worry about turning lights off. They just all go off on their own, and I can have all my pretty lights on.
I find when they just turn off, sometimes if you're still up, it's like your phone's telling you to go to bed. Go
Yeah,
to bed, Michelle,
because I
it's
have
too
set them
late.
at times, yeah, that say,
You need to be in
"Are
bed.
you still watching? Are you still watching TV and crocheting?"
This is my other great stim thing. We went to a very posh restaurant in London, and this is what I had on instead of flowers. I didn't steal it. I asked them because I spent the whole
Did they
of the
use it?
meal like with my hand on it, playing
Yeah,
with it. Because it's like, please stop playing with this spiky thing. It's metal and it makes pinging
yeah.
noises. Don't know if you can hear that. But it's also just really pleasing, almost like acupuncture on my hands. And I
Yeah.
love texture, really
Mhm.
important. What else do I do? I have a lot of set routines. I don't know about you. Routines are really important for me. Um, my husband says I'll be late to my own funeral because of the washing. I can't leave it. If the washing machine clicks, it has to go in the tumble dryer immediately. Doesn't matter where we're going, how late we're going to be, what bus I'm going to miss, has to go in the tumble dryer. I food plan to make myself organised. Um, we have a a Ukrainian guest living with us at the moment, and she's really lovely. And she just thinks it's really funny that every Sunday I sit there and I order my Sainsbury's and I write down all the
Yeah.
ingredients I'm going to need for every meal that week, and then I order them and it arrives on a Monday morning. And then yesterday, after our walk, we went into Lidl for me to just get a couple of packs of crumpets because we thought, oh, we'll have afternoon tea, and she's never had crumpets. And I came out having spent £30 in Lidl because I just was, oh, I'll have that, I'll have that, I'll have
Yeah.
that. It was like, this is why Charlie needs a list. Needs
Yeah,
to
we
be,
are we are the supermarket's dream. We are
yeah,
the impulse buyers.
yeah. No, I can't do that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
My children have learned to be like sheepdogs. So they will go, if I'm in Hobbycraft or the range especially, they will, other supermarkets are available. Um they will sort of the end of the aisles and they'll sort of gently steer me towards a till when they've had enough, you know. And when they've had enough, they will literally say, we need to go right now, and
Yeah.
start grabbing my hand. But yeah, they're so funny. They're like, you said you were just going to get this.
What I do is I've got a calendar, like a normal kitchen calendar, and on Sunday I write down the menu plan on that. It doesn't get anything else unless someone's out, so I know that they don't need to be catered for. And they will come home from school and they'll get themselves a snack and they'll look up so they know what dinner is tonight, or they might do it in the morning.
Yeah.
And then if I've actually rejigged the meals, it can throw them into quite a curveball. They don't like, but we were having chili tonight. What do you mean we're now having pasta? Pasta's your favourite food. That's not the point. I prepared myself for chili. It's a regular
Yes,
conversation.
yes, yeah, yes. They've already mentally eaten it. You
Yes,
can't change it.
but it's your favourite. It's pasta. Hmm. I've got one child that does one thing, and it's the particular antima to the other's needs.
Yeah,
So
I
they're
have had that.
stimming.
Yeah.
Ooh, send the other one off at a tangent regularly.
Yeah, I had one child making siren noises and two others with sensitive hearing.
Yeah. Both my kids permanently walk around with headphones attached to them
Mm,
in the house, and then they kind of, what? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
yeah.
My sensitivity isn't necessarily to noise. I don't like a lot of overwhelming, but I used to spend my 20s in clubs and stuff like that, and I used to love dancing and I love the lights and the noise. Mine is smell.
I love
As
smells. Yeah.
I hate smells.
No,
St-
I some smells like cut
Yeah.
grass,
Oh
but
yeah, things
then
like
there are
that.
smells like newspapers I cannot stand.
Do you know do you know the term petrichor? This is a great word, petrichor. Petrichor is the smell of grass after rain.
Ooh.
It's a good word and it's a lovely smell. I like that one, but there are
Mm,
overpowering smells I cannot deal with. So,
yeah,
not to put too fine a point on it, when the children were ill, the husband was dealing. I literally can't be
yeah.
around those sort of strong smells.
Mm,
Strong perfume. I can't talk to someone.
yeah.
Um,
I can't hold a newspaper. I can't walk past them. They are horrific. I've always hated it. I used to tell
Funny,
people
isn't
I
it?
was allergic to the ink, so I didn't have to touch them.
Mm,
Yeah.
funny, isn't it? What? Yeah. So touch, we've done sound, we've done smells, we've done
Yeah.
sight with lights.
Yeah. So some people will say, "Oh, well, we were talking about not everyone's on everyone's a little bit autistic."
Oh,
That old trope. I know. And some people will say, "Well, I make plans for dinner and I like to play with those hairbands and so we are all a little bit autistic." But I think thinking about how much it really upsets me when something like newspapers or something that I can't control happens, or when for you that person
with the Kit
broke
Kat.
broke your Kit
Oh,
Kat. It wasn't that they broke your Kit Kat and you
no.
could just carry on eating it and think they were a pain in the bum. They had totally disrupted your plan and your treat and the thing
Yeah.
that you had arranged for that part of the week. So there's a lot goes on in here that people don't see about how much we need these
Yeah,
things and how much it affects
you
us.
feel it, don't you?
Yeah,
It's like a pain.
yeah,
It's not it's not just, oh, well, whatever. It actually
mm.
can physically hurt. And I think
I
that's
get physical pain when I go up high or if I see wounds.
mm,
I physically have like it feels like an electric shock.
mm, yeah.
Yeah,
If I bad smells, I'm literally, yeah, same thing. I was thinking the other thing was taste, because that's quite often you're always told, people who are autistic don't have a very wide palate. They don't want to eat stuff.
It depends if you're a
I,
sensory seeker or a sensory
yeah,
avoider.
so I quite like new foods. Texture of mushrooms was a
Yeah,
difficult one for me when I was younger. My son doesn't like things that confuse him, but he doesn't like sweet potatoes and he doesn't like parsnips because
yeah,
they're sweet but they're savoury.
yeah,
Doesn't like that.
yeah, yeah.
Pineapple on pizzas, work of the devil.
No,
Controversy.
gorgeous,
No,
gorgeous,
absolute work
gorgeous.
of the
Yeah.
devil.
Oh,
Can't
lovely.
cope with that. No, no, horrible. Um, and I think, well, no, I'm not got a limited palate. I don't have a limited palate, but I do have foods that I eat over and over and over
Yeah,
and over again.
yeah.
If I
Very
can't go
much.
a day without Marmite and toast with sliced tomatoes on it.
Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
my standard breakfast. But if I end up having something for breakfast that's not that, at some point in the day, I have to make myself a slice of Marmite and toast with sliced tomatoes, cherry tomatoes on top. Really nice because there's something about the clearness and the palate cleansing of the tomatoes cutting in through the Marmite.
yeah. I've had the same lunch for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. What's your
Salad,
lunch?
salad.
Salad.
So it's a varied and pretty
Yeah.
thing. Eat the rainbow, but it's when we met today. I had to do a doctor's appointment for
Yeah.
my son, and it threw me out because I hadn't had a chance to have my salad.
Mm.
And if I'd just tried to grab a piece of bread or something, I wouldn't have felt like I've had
Break.
that. I wouldn't have felt like I'd had a break for lunch. Do you know
But
if I eat the insides of chips or mashed potato, that pasty kind of
mm,
texture, if I'm eating that, I will itch all around
mm,
the top of my eyes. It's
fun,
so
isn't it?
weird. It's so weird. Yeah, that texture just does something to me, and I love the taste.
Some afternoons, this is a weird one, I can't get the balance between sweet and savoury right. So after lunch, I'm like, right, I need something sweet to sort the palate out. Have something sweet. No, that's too much. It's like a little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit more, a little bit less. And I'm going to be really full, but I need the balance to be right. And brushing my teeth won't do it. So there's no point brushing my teeth, I'll just start the pain again. So yeah, my thing is trying to get that balance of when I feel like I've eaten the right amount, and I haven't worked out what the proportions are yet. And I wish I could, because it would save me on a lot of snacking. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I better go sort out the child, speaking of snacking.
Okay. Good to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. This has been so much fun.
It
Thank
has
you.
been fun, hasn't it?
We're celebrating Neurodiversity Week. Get online and join in and find out more and celebrate your individuality.
We hope our random witterings have amused you, entertained you, and informed you.